I mean, what's good? It's not only like seeing, but it's like the feeling of being there is really weird because there's a lot of mist. There's also like a lot of wind. Like it's really windy. So while we were going up,
really don't know where you're going with this,
my
right?
grandparents.
Visit my grandparents.
We would stop
On the way, we would stop at
side,
my mom's side uncle, my uncle Grant. And he lived kind of in like a rural area. He lived further up on the mountainside, kind of, that was right next to a train tracks. And the train tracks ran right through like a large woodland area. To get up to his house, he had to go down a big, windy, gravelly road. We popped our tires going down it like 3 times. He would know we were there because we would call him, or he also had video cameras watching the gate. And then we would go through this big, just tons of weeds and things everywhere, up to a giant cement shack. He lived on the bottom level, and the bottom level was basically a kitchen with a fridge, a fireplace, a bed, and then a hammock. And above the hammock was a shotgun, an AK, and then he had machetes sitting around. And when I was little, I used to play with the machetes, and there was like these weird like fruits that grew, and I would like throw them in the air and like chop them in half. And he had 8 or 10 tigers around that, and he raised them from like a baby. And I remember at like a young age I was throwing tennis balls with them. That's all I can remember about them being cubs. I overheard him, my uncle, and my mom talking about how one day when he woke up, there was a hobo's finger inside the pen, and on the video camera, some dude just like stuck his finger up to the cage and got it ripped off by the tiger. That might have been one of the reasons why he got him taken away, but the primary reason was he didn't fill out the exotic animal forms that you need. And so then the government came and took him away and gave him to like a local zoo. Sometimes we would take my uncle like back with us to Wisconsin, and he would live with us for like a couple months, like 4 months at a time. And he would go speed skating with my parents because my whole family is really into speed skating, and my uncle would also speed skate, and he would just go there a lot with friends in the city. His primary source of income is he gets welfare and disability checks because he got into a motorcycle accident, and I don't think he was wearing a helmet, and he crashed and slid, and it like shredded his leg. He had watched a lot of VCR tapes, and he would have like a small TV in his cement shack, and he would watch VCR tapes, like a ton of action movies, Predator, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, all that stuff. And he was really into like just like cheesy action movies, like the Steven Seagal ones, where it was just like over the top. My uncle is kind of an outcast because he doesn't live close to where my family in Wisconsin lives, and he doesn't live close to where my family in Minnesota lives.
Are you gonna, like, where are you gonna live?
Probably go to California,
Yeah.
because that's where you kind of have to go for film.
I feel like the most reasonable option is becoming like a PA and like working your way up.
What's your, like, dream thing to do? Like, yeah, you wanna, like, direct something
Do something
bigger.
that actually interests me. Like I don't want to, like, I mean, there's filming and like directing and producing to make like money, and you're being creative. Like you can be creative with like TV shows, a sci-fi movie or comedy or an action movie, just something interesting. I don't really think that you have to make something recognizable to be known by. You just have to enjoy what you're doing and what you're making.